Welcome back to the Bedtime Stories podcast. I'm Ivy Tran, and today's podcast episode will cover the importance of preventing burnout in the nursing industry. We're going to get first-hand insight from our guest, who is a licensed registered nurse, Bill Pitiranggon. Thank you so much for joining us today. First, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ivy Tran, for helping me get on this podcast. So my name is Bill. I've been a nurse for almost 7 years now. I primarily work in oncology nursing, solid tumors of the head and neck. So it could be thyroid, nasopharyngeal, it could be types of ear cancers like neuromas. Also, I've been a nurse for an outpatient, inpatient, and I definitely love what I do. I feel that nursing is a great career because you have to empathize to patients, you have to be compassionate, and you have to love to take care of people. Outside of work, I definitely love to spend time with my family, try new restaurants, I like going to the gym, of course, and also running outside.
Thank you so much. Now, let's move into sleep. Sleep is one of the most important factors to retain memory and to have a well-balanced mood. What are some ways you could improve your sleep at night?
Yeah, so to improve sleep at night, you definitely want to be productive throughout the day, meaning you want to wake up early, have a well balanced breakfast. You can drink coffee in the morning, of course, and then also stay with more fruits and veggies, as fried food is not the most healthy thing. Also, you want to have a well balanced lunch and dinner. You want to stay fit, so meaning it could be exercising as going to the gym, it could be running or playing soccer. This way, when your body does endorsements, you're tired, obviously, and then you burn more calories, and then you have that well balanced meal. And this way, your brain gets to have more of that resting energy. And when it comes to nighttime, and of course, you still want to study, so meaning you have a schedule of things to do. And when you're studying, you want to make sure your feet are on the ground, you want to have bright light. And then after you shower, you want to go to bed all in clean pajamas, right? And you want to have a clean uh, sheets, and then you want to have great, well, air conditioning because in a cold environment, most humans sleep a lot better, and limit your phone use at bedtime.
Now, let's get into nursing. Nursing is obviously a very challenging profession, yet the most respected. How do you prevent yourself from being burnt out outside of your work life?
Yeah, that's a great question because nursing itself, even to this day, it's really hard. And I always tell myself when I clock out, I always want to leave work at work and my life stress at home, of course. I don't bring work stress at home. So basically, when I'm home, I only worry about what's there in front of me. It is, of course, my family. And I make sure that we're always in a good mood and that we have things and activities to do together as a family. And of course, I play with my daughter, who is our first one in the house now. And also, with the 9 to 5, you make sure that you can still have a routine so that you can sleep at night at the time that you want to. Because I don't know, for some people who commute all the time or commute far, you have to wake up early for this. I mean, going to bed early is crucial. Um, in summary, you just have to make sure you keep doing the things that you enjoy doing. For me, it's definitely holding my daughter. It could be going to the gym just for maybe only 15 minutes. And then also eating a well balanced dinner. This way, when I'm going to bed, I'm not hungry at night. And those are some ways that I prevent burnout.
Let's go back to nursing school. So, when you were in nursing school, how did you balance your professional life and your personal life?
Yeah, so during nursing school, I balanced it basically is when you wake up really early, you make coffee, get my planner out at the same time, and basically write down the list of things that I need to get done. This way I stay organized through nursing school. Being non unorganized is not the right way to success. You really have to have a planner and have a checklist of what you're going through. And then also when you're at school, you want to try pre-reading. You want to have friends and meet up with them and discuss what the professor's probably going to talk about that day. And then also when you have lecture that same day is when you study is probably the best time to study. And then you want to take breaks. You don't want to study for 3 straight hours, 2 hours max, and just take a 10-minute, 20-minute break and then go back to studying for a couple more hours and another 10, 20-minute breaks. You want to During those stress relieved times, you either want to pet your dog or your cat, or you want to just take a brisk walk around the park. It could be also doing some chores if that needs to be done. Some people just like cleaning or listening to relaxing music. Other ways is at night, you want to make sure you have a routine with just having a good hygiene. So make sure that you bathe yourself real well, have good skincare routine, and go to bed. And basically, you want to discuss, not necessarily discuss, but also go back to that planner and try to think about the next day that what needs to be done. This way, you're not having so much overwhelming activities on top, piling. But having that planner morning and night really did help me at least get through nursing school.
Okay, so with your experience as a nurse, what are some signs and symptoms that somebody could be depressed?
Yeah, the signs and symptoms of depression go from Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It could be from having food and water. If they have deprivations of food and water, those are the signs. Losing weight real fast, not talking as much as they used to, such as talking with their friends or their family, or when they get questions asked to them and they're answering in a more combative way, or they just don't want to talk, or assessing their nonverbal language and they always look so guarded, or their arms are crossed across their chest, or they're looking down. Other symptoms could be, of course, self-harm, so looking at their shoulders or their knees, if there's any cut marks. Um, Other things is the way they dress, if they're changing the way they dress, not necessarily dark clothes, but it's just a random change in style. When patients usually have signs of depression, they just go through mood swings, so they want to try new things. Other parts of depression could just be even showing signs at work that they're not doing their job correctly anymore. Other things is when they come home from work, they don't want to do anything. They're just procrastinating. And you want to just basically, at that point, assess them and make sure that they're okay.
There is a statistic that about 30% of college students battle depression during their bachelor's degree. A person diagnosed with depression, what is recommended for them to do?
Yeah, so during college, you want to, um, of course, assess the signs and symptoms that we just discussed before this. But the point is, the interventions part is making sure that you have a good support system. And whether if you're the person that's depressed, you want to go to your loved ones. Those are usually the first people because those are the people you trust. And you want to tell them how you feel. You don't have to necessarily tell them that, hey, I'm depressed, but you want to tell them your life stressors and discuss ways on how to intervene from things becoming more stressful. A lot of things could just pile up and that could lead to actual depression. And you ideally want to be surrounded by your loved ones or any therapist or even a counselor to talk about what you're going through so that this way they can show you ways how to mitigate the depression.
And how do you support somebody who's going through depression?
Yeah, so the ways would be you want to show them support groups that maybe they can even join. This way they could show that they're not the only one going through the issues of depression. You want to also encourage them that there's nothing wrong asking for help. And sometimes, especially with the younger adults, it's frowned upon, but actually it's not. It's even older adults and the middle-aged adults go through depression. It could be even just having a new family member, like a child, like postpartum blues or postpartum depression. It could just be through college because of all the exams that you're going through. But really, it's about staying busy and having that planner and making sure that you're doing everything correctly to have the best possible 4 years or 6 years of your bachelor's degree, to make sure that you're not just only so stressed, but having fun as you get your bachelor's degree. You want to enjoy the process. Don't just look forward to that one day you graduate, because you're not going to be surrounded by all those college students again once you're done with school. So my advice to that is enjoy the process if you can. And it could just be from hanging out with your friends. It could just be late nights at their parents' house watching movies. You want to still find time to study though, because you don't want to do all those things if you're not doing so well in school, of course, because now you got to focus on school. That's more important to get your grades back up. So sometimes you just have to minimize your social life just a bit, only if your grades aren't as well. But everything is all on you to get there.
Okay, so to wrap up our episode, if you could give future nursing students any advice or tips to ensure that they protect their mental health, what would you say?
Yeah, so basically the tips would be is to have a great friend group, the ones that you just act yourself, be goofy. They all support you. They all know how to be serious when you're serious. They know when to empathize with you when you're going through life stressors. The ones that don't gossip, the ones that want to go and get breakfast together on a Sunday morning or Saturday morning, those are the ones you want to surround yourself with. Surround yourself with good friends. You want to make sure you have a good respect and rapport with your parents, because your parents are the ones that can really, really help you be successful in life, whether it be from graduating high school or even college. Other ways are you yourself. You need to find yourself alone time. Meaning, if you have something where you're just always surrounded by people, even just going to the gym and just that you don't have to talk to anyone there at the gym. That's what I do. That alone time is just like a reset for me in that one for that whole 24-hour day. And that's why I even just like walking around the neighborhood just so that my mind can just refresh again.
Thank you so much, Bill Pitiranggon, for joining us today for our podcast, Bedtime Stories. We hope that you guys will tune in to our past episodes and our future episodes. So once again, thank you so much for listening, and a big shout out to Bill Pitiranggon.
Thank you so much, Ivy Tran.